I'm Jeff Serafini, Purchasing Manager at Potomac Floral Wholesale, and today we're going to start a series on big and tall arrangements and the materials that you need that need to be big and tall. The most important thing to remember when you're doing anything of this scale is that you have to be experienced, you have to know your mechanics. The weight of the material that's being used and the possibility of disaster if it goes wrong is just too great not to be sure of what you're doing. So while we're not going to talk about the mechanics of big and tall arrangements, it is important for you to make sure that you understand how to make things secure and stable. You have to be aware of the environment that they'll be in. Will they be knocked around by people? Will it be materials that might catch on clothing? And with all of that being said, let's dive in. The classics. Brownback magnolia. Been around forever, used in wreaths, used in garland, and able to be used in really big arrangements. This whole bale is only 4 stems. Often you have to trim away on the bottom part so that you have a usable stem to use in the arrangement, but that's okay because it gives you foliage that you can then use in shorter pieces. Camelia. Camelia does have a bit of a season in that right now it's in flower bud form and it'll stay that way for a while. But eventually later in the year these buds become flowers and the flowers do not last particularly well. So there is a period of time when camelia is hard to use, mostly because you have to pluck all of the flowers off of the stems before they go bad when you're going to use it in your event. Curly willow. At this time of year, it's the golden willow. In about another month, when the northeast crop comes in, this will be solid green. Red and yellow stick dogwood. It's available in the fall and throughout the winter. It can be harvested in the middle of winter. Pretty much the only time that it can't be harvested is when it has leaves on the stem, because it just doesn't pay to try to clean it. So in late spring and summer, this material is not around, but in fall and winter, it's a great element to use. A few less traditional things. From Australia, we have gymea. This is a foliage that's very useful, partly because it's so long-lasting. Designers have told me about using it in arrangements and then taking it out and reusing it in another arrangement, going on for 3 to 4 weeks. So this is an extraordinary, durable leaf. Bamboo, of course, available in different sizes and different diameters. Most people are pretty familiar with olive branch, but it's available at 5-foot lengths and provides a great silvery contrast to the dark greens of other foliages. And now the heavy hitters. Very popular in the fall, privetberry in small bunches is used in centerpieces all the time. But this family, the ligustrum family of trees, grows in the Northeast. And from mid to late fall, you can get something as big and beautiful as 5-foot privetberry, ligustrum bales. A staple almost year-round, Scotch broom from the Pacific Northwest in bunch size is something that florists have had available to them forever. But It's also something that you can get in 5 to 6 foot lengths in bale form. Another northeast foliage available by the bale is euonymus. Generally it's green, and you can also get it in variegated form. It's something that's fairly familiar on the west coast in about a 2 to 3 foot length, but it's available in the northeast in bale form in 5 to 6 foot lengths. And when we say fairly tall, we mean really fairly tall. This is about 140 centimeters, classic pimpernel hydrangea from Europe. And last but not least, as we're headed into December and boxwood becomes a material in all of its different shapes and forms, in garlands, in wreaths, in Christmas tree form, you can also get boxwood 5 to 6 foot tall, available for really large arrangements. Beautiful. These kinds of foliages provide the bases that you would use in your large pieces. In our next installment, we'll go after the big and tall version of flowers.